Alright, hello. Uh, Welcome to Railroad Crossing Creator. Creator. Today I'm gonna show you how to make my favorite crossing in this game. So, this is literally just because I wanted to show someone how I make my favorite crossing in this game. You don't have to do this. But yeah, so I always start out with the very first control box plus 5G. I always do the one with the door. I never use any other ones. Then I go to the miscellaneous, US miscellaneous. Then I use the low quarter Canadian one. So grab the low quarters Canadian one. And this is a wigwag crossing, and I always use two different types. I use a wigwag and a different type, which I'll show you in a second. So, make sure it works. Perfect. So, the next one I use is, go back into here, and then scroll up to the top. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the stop sign is facing away from the wigwag if you're putting it on this side, because what'll happen is the stop sign will be facing this way, but you want it to be facing this way. So what you do is in this menu right here, you'll see the yellow square that's lit up. The one under it says C, so click the C. It'll turn green. And then grab these green circles and make it so that the stop sign is facing this way, so that when you activate it, it'll be facing that way. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add bell. And the bell, I go to mechanical, get the Wabco bell, go into back to Z, and then raise it up. And always set it a little bit in. Make sure everything works. And that's also what the bell sounds like. And sometimes this wigwag crossing will break, but all you have to do is despawn it and get a new one. Now here's the harder part of this. What you have to do is you have to get your sensors. You want your sensors because if you don't have sensors, then your crossings won't activate for the train. You'll have to activate them yourself. So what we'll do, or what I do, is I run down here, and then I get about... you gotta run pretty far, actually. You stop right around here, you open your menu, go to sensors, then you get your activate sensor. And then what you can do, just take it, put it right in the middle, and then put it right about there. So that thing's pretty far out. And what you can do is you can call the train to see if it's where you want it. Now, placing it that far back is good if you're using gates, but here's another reason I do it when I don't use gates. It's because if you place it that far back, what happens is every single time that you call the train, the cars will stop the second the train actually spawns in. And it looks pretty weird when the crossing is sitting there, not functioning, but there's just cars sitting there. But if you place the sensor farther back, what'll happen is the crossings will activate a lot earlier. So then it'll look like the cars are stopping for the crossing and not because they see the train 10 miles down the track. But anyways, let's see if my sensor's in a good spot. Perfect. because they don't stop for the crossing, they stop for the train. And then what you do, or what you can do if you want to put like a sensor to deactivate the crossing, you run down by the signal post, open your menu, go into sensors, get your deactivation sensor, open up your menu again, grab it. Nope, don't do that. Put it right there. And then I usually put it right about there. Actually, we'll put it right there. And then what happens is when you call the train, the crossing will still go for a little while after the train goes by. And I like doing that, but you don't have to. You can like test it out and put it where you want it. But let's see if I put it in a position that I like. We'll see when it deactivates. Alright, I like that. So there you go. This is my favorite crossing design, but there's another design I want to show you, and it uses a different bell, and you can use whatever bells you want. You can use whatever crossings you want. I'm just showing you my personal favorite. And then after I show you this other design, I'm going to just mess around with some other stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. So here's another thing I like doing. So you can delete this bell that you have on top of the crossing right here. Just delete it. You can open your menu, go into bells, go into hybrid, hit the safe train bell, and then grab it, bring it over here. Oh, here, I'm just gonna move that menu upwards. Then you can raise it, put it back, and then I'm gonna put it over a little bit. And then, raise it, put it over. Nope. No. Don't do that. Fine, whatever. And then, nope, don't do that. Close. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright, so now it's time to mess around with some things. And yes, I do know this is a pedestrian crossing. But where the sensor is not good for when you're using gates, because then what'll happen is the gates will be going up and then the cars will go and then they'll start going through the gate. Like the first 2 or 3 cars will go through the gates. And I don't really particularly like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over here and I'm going to grab another gate, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the sensor backwards a little bit so that the crossing deactivates earlier, and then the gate has time to go up before, like cars start going, so that the cars aren't like phasing through the gate, because we don't like that. So I'm going to move that back to about right there. This is probably going to take some trial and error to get perfect. But, hey, it's fun, I think. I don't know. Some people might hate this. Which, if you're one of those people, that's totally fine. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to grab some gates. And, no, I don't want that one. I don't like that one. That one sucks. No, the one I want is this one. And this, is that literally the same exact one? Okay, never mind. Alright, let's see how she worked now. Ooh, that goes down fast. I like that. This thing's probably going to activate or deactivate like midway through the train. Oh, that's good. Alright, we can do that. Alright. That's actually not half bad. But I do want to test out some other different crossings. Bye-bye. No more wigwag. Let's see. We could do... I don't know. We could do, like... How about we just do this? Yeah, let's just do this. Let's see how this... Not an ounce of protection on this side. But that's okay. I want to try the pedestrian crossing that also has the regular crossing. No, I don't want that. No, I want this one. What the heck? Okay. Now let's see how she go. Oh. Hold on. Panicking. I have an idea. It just barely hits it. I think if I move this over just a little bit, it'll be perfect. Yeah, stop. This is my crossing, and you have no right to be following through it. So I think now that I moved it over a little, it might work better. I think. It might not get hit. I have an idea. It won't get hit if you just move it, like way over. Call the train. Hello, we need the train. Thank you. Let's see how it works now. There we go. That's perfect. That is a perfectly working thing. Yeah, it's called a thing now. Let's go in here. Let's see what other fun activities we have. We have that. That looks amazing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one of these, but this one will be in the right position. Alright. And I'm also going to do gates and masts. I'm going to do another one of these. But with this, I'm going to have to do the... Holy smokes. Oh, shoot. Hold on. There we go. Now, oh my... There we go. Over to the same position, just about. Alright, let's see how she works now. Kind of forcing them to stop. Alright, train goes by. Let's see how it works with this one. Perfect, that one doesn't get hit either. Alright. You know what? This might become my new favorite crossing. Because you can hide the E-bell in there. Yeah. Or, I have an idea. Put this teardrop right on here. And then you can have an E-bell. Ooh, and a mechanical bell. This seems like something they would do on the St. Lawrence and Atlantic. Alright. Now I'm going to do something Perfect. Delete that. I'm doing something. Oh my gosh, that dog. If only the dogs knew when I was recording so that they just wouldn't bark. But now you get to listen to my dog bark over probably nothing, honestly. Right. Okay, perfect. Perfect! Now, let's see how this works. Now we have dual wigwags, dual crossings. This is fun. Something that I've seen, so tomorrow when I watch the train, I'm gonna be watching it at a crossing that I have never seen the train at before, and it has two steel bells, it has two mechanical bells, one on each cantilever, because it's like on a highway basically, so it has two cantilevers. What the heck? So I don't know why it has two bells, but whatever the reason, I will figure it out tomorrow. No, I don't want... Why does this game have to do this to me? Like, everything will be going perfect, and then the game will just hit me with something stupid like this. I don't... Just... Alright. Fine. I'll let that thing spaz out. I don't even know where it went. That thing probably went to the heavens. Guess we're just gonna have to get a new one. That'll hopefully work better. Okay, good enough. So, what I'm going to do... Like, honestly, sometimes this game just really makes me mad. What? No. No. Can you let me... Just let me zoom out. No. But yeah, whatever the reason, I'm going to figure out why it has two tomorrow. Because that is where I'm going to be watching the train. And there's, potential for very good footage at that crossing. So, let's hope. Good enough. Alright, let's see how it sounds with two mechanical bells. You know what? This is my new favorite crossing. Or second favorite. second favorite crossing setup. What I am going to do is I'm going to move that sensor back a little bit so it doesn't go on as long and it gives more time for the gates to go up. I do not want to call the train. Alright, there we go. Now I'll call the train. Oh, I think we've got our first casualty for the wigwags. Yep. Yeah, that'll happen with this particular wigwag. But this has been my favorite because this is one of those ones where the wigwag gets caught, like it sticks behind the elephant ears. Let's see how this wigwag works now that it's brand new. I just pulled it out of the magical cardboard box. The house is a lot of stuff for building railroad crossings. And then the other one's gonna break. Actually, I do not want it to break. Perfect. They both walk back. Crossings go up. Perfect. Alright. That's it for my commentary.